What's going on, guys? Dawko back again. Hope you're fantastic today, and welcome back to another Fnaf news video. Okay, it's all about security breach, basically, guys, because on Thursday, Steelwool are going to be attending an Nvidia conference. Okay, before I even talk about it, guys, take this with a grain of salt. It is a business conference, so it's very, very unlikely that Steelwool are going to say, hey, as well, business people, the game's going to be released in a week's time, or next week, or in a month's time. It's very unlikely they're going to show anything new, but I thought I'd talk about it anyway, just in case. We were predicting that the game was going to release around May or June or July, sometime around there, because it was originally supposed to come out in December, but was delayed for early 2021, which is now. So a lot of people are like, oh, okay, Steelwool haven't really said anything yet. They've showed some really, really awesome screenshots, which look incredibly impressive, I have to say. And we've spoke about it. We're so hyped for security breach. It looks so good. But they still haven't said a release date. Now, the screenshots that they showed about a month ago looked great, right? And they looked polished and they looked perfect. And I said in my video, you know, it's looking close to a release date. But they still haven't said anything yet. And this conference is in 2 days' time on Thursday. And you never know, because it's a business conference, they might say a release date. But I will talk about that in a minute, guys, because they have an open Q&A and an open-ended discussion at the end of this conference, which somebody might say, when is the game releasing? And Steelwool might say it. They might reveal it. You never know. Before I talk about the Nvidia conference, guys, I want to talk about this, which is absolutely amazing, guys. Scott has revealed the original cover for the Cliffs, okay? You remember, if you've seen the Breaking Wheel summary video that I posted last week, I said, rumor has it that the Breaking Wheel was supposed to be the first story with a cover, okay? But they changed it to the Cliffs because the Breaking Wheel's cover was too gruesome and too much for the audience, okay? Too much for a book. Now, Scott has confirmed that rumor and has said, yes, the Breaking Wheel was originally going to be the cover for the Fazbear Fright book, but it was too much to handle, so they changed it to the Cliffs, and he released the original image of the Breaking Wheel. Take a look at this, guys. Oh my god. So yeah, it is pretty gruesome, and it is pretty insane. So spoilers ahead, guys, if you haven't read the Breaking Wheel. Spoilers, 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 okay? The Breaking Wheel is about a student who gets trapped inside an exoskeleton, one that you fit inside, kind of like a spring lock suit, but not a spring lock suit. And he gets completely mauled by the exoskeleton. The exoskeleton rips him apart, it crushes him, folds him up. And this cover, guys, you can see here, that's the aftermath of the exoskeleton. And it's pretty insane, right? I can understand why, because this would be out in public bookstores and stuff like that, I guess. And maybe, like, Scholastic said to them, like, hold on, this is a bit too much. We need to change it. But I really like it, and it really sets the scene of the Breaking Wheel. I understand why it wasn't released publicly for the book. You know, Fazbear Frights is more like... It's a tough one with Fazbear Frights because the audience, I think, is for teens, right? I do think it is for teens, but with FNAF, there are kids that read the books as well and like the franchise, and there's 60-year-olds who like FNAF as well. It makes me wonder, guys, if the book publishing said no to any of the other covers. Hello, hello. This is Scott Coffin talking.
Hello, Mr. Coffin. This is Scholastic speaking. We've decided not to publish the next Fazbear Fright cover.
Okay.
We believe it's too gruesome for audiences.
You think it's too much?
Yes, we do, sir. I'm sorry.
All right, well, okay. It can't be that bad. Show me.
Trust me, Mr. Coffin, it is. It's very, very bad. Very, very bad indeed.
I'm sure the Fazbear Frights cover can't be that bad. Come on. Okay, guys, moving on to what you've been waiting for. So the schedule for the Security Breach Conference has been leaked or revealed, and this is the outset plan of what Steelwool are going to do for the Nvidia presentation, which again is on Thursday, the 15th of April. Now, a reminder, this isn't for an open audience, guys. This is for businesses. This is a business conference, so, you know, they're not doing it for the fans. This is a business conference, okay? So they're not going to show a new trailer. Maybe, we don't know, but it doesn't look like it from what I'll talk about in a minute. They still have an open Q&A at the end where you never know, a businessman could say, hey, when's the game releasing? What's the plan? Are you going to be releasing it soon? And Steelwall might be open and say, yeah, we're hoping to release it soon, blah, 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 blah. So this is a schedule, guys. The first thing that's going to be shown is the Fnaf Security Breach trailer. Now, this is the trailer that has been revealed already. I got really, really hyped up. I was like, oh my God, they're going to release a new trailer. But it is the same trailer that they released a while ago. So that just shows that they're not planning to release anything, like trailer-wise. You never know, it could be a surprise, but I doubt it. I think they'd keep the surprise for the fans and not business people, okay? And they welcome everyone and introduce the developers of the team, which is Steelwall. And yeah, they start the discussion of the developer and the game. So, can you tell us more about Steelwall? I played your last FNAF game on Oculus and parts of it scared me. I had to put it down at one point. You definitely seem to have a strong history with this game. So these are all the questions and discussions that are going to be offered to Steelwall to answer. So you can kind of guess what Steelwall are going to reply with some of these questions. What's it like to make not just a FNAF game, first modern FNAF using advanced technology? So yeah, this is an NVIDIA conference, guys, and they're using the best graphics they can get. You saw from the trailer and you saw from the screenshots, the graphics look insane, right? And they are using NVIDIA, ray tracing and stuff like that, which I don't really know much about. Steelwall is a relatively small developer and less than 20 people are making FNAF Security Breach. What do you think about where the industry is at today with team and project sizes? So yeah, if you didn't know, guys, the people who are unfortunately complaining at Steelwall saying, oh my God, why isn't the game released yet? It's because Steelwall are a very small team, okay? It's not a big games company like Activision, who make Call of Duty every year, right? You know, it's a small team. So we have to respect that. And for a small team, I think they've done a fantastic job. Help Wanted, the FNAF VR game, was amazing, but they seem to have just done fully upgraded for Security Breach, right? It's non-VR. The graphics look insane. The game looks huge. The world looks huge. So it's really, really exciting. Discuss the technology. Ray tracing is being used, and this is one of the first games to use RTX GI. It may be the first to use these technologies on a PS5. So yeah, think about that for a second, guys. Steelwall might be the first ever company to use these new graphics, these new technologies for Security Breach, right? But not just that. One of the first to be released on the PlayStation 5. And it's FNAF Security Breach. That's pretty insane. What an achievement that could be. The PlayStation 5 is such a huge console. And Security Breach might be one of the first companies to ever use these new graphic technologies for PlayStation 5. It's pretty insane. What's that development been like? Working with the PS5 and ray tracing is brand new, and you're at the forefront of it. So again, guys, because this is new technology and stuff, I'm guessing Steelwall have had some issues with it. I think that's probably further the delay of the game being released, is because it's all new technology and they've had to experiment with it and, you know, develop the game with it. So they might have had some issues and walls along the way of making the game. Has anything worked differently than you expected? Again, we're going to get all these answers, which is interesting. I will make a video on this, by the way. Even if we don't see anything new, I want to talk about to you guys, you know, I want to talk about the interview. You know, they will be talking about what issues they face with Security Breach, which will be really, really interesting to know. What were the challenges with the game? What stopped them from doing things? What pushed them to do new things, right? You are one of the first developers to make use of RTXGI on multiple platforms. What sort of challenges have you encountered? Again, that's what I was talking about. You know, they have to not, you know, make it for PC, make it for PlayStation 5. You know, what are the differences with those? Because PC, you know, they can do the graphics as big as they want. Because some people have like amazing computers, but some people don't. With the PlayStation 5, it's kind of a set, you know, a set limit of what they can do. So what challenges have they faced to port it onto the PlayStation 5, or vice versa, port it onto the PC? From a technical perspective, talk about the platform differences. What have you learned are the development differences making a game for both the PlayStation 5 and RTX PC? Again, what differences have there been? You know, what challenges are there? And what similarities between the two consoles? Talk about the fan base. This is a big game series made by a small developer, but it has millions of fans. What's that been like? You've worked in this series before. What are the challenges of meeting the expectations of such a large fan base? I imagine that can be challenging. Yes, I think it's going to be extremely interesting to see what Steel will say about this. I obviously think they love the fan base, and so do I, and so does everybody. But there are definitely pressures that Steel will have had to face with the fan base. Because, you know, it's such a huge fan base, they are probably very pressured and worried to make any mistakes, right? And they want to make the game perfect. So has that contributed to the delay of the game? Do they want to make this a perfect game and they don't want to see any bugs or any problems with the game? And I'm guessing that, you know, that's true. I feel like the game has been delayed because what Scott said as well, Steel will want to make this game big. They want to go out with this game, you know. This is the biggest change with FNAF that we're ever going to witness, okay? FNAF VR was a huge step forward. You know, it was a really, really good game. But now it's in non-VR, and you know the hype for it has been insane. The trailer, the first ever trailer on the PlayStation YouTube channel, went ballistic. Loads of people talking about it, bringing new people into the franchise, bringing old people into the franchise, just like the movie is probably going to do as well. So Steel are probably going to have a lot of pressure, okay, which I think is the reason why it has been delayed as well as COVID. Security Breach is a lot bigger than FNAF VR, okay? It looks like from the trailers we're going to be roaming around in this massive mall with different sections and different areas and different animatronics. You know, with FNAF VR, it was a hub world and you load into levels. This is a big difference, okay? So, Steel will have probably had the biggest challenge ever in the FNAF franchise ever, okay? So it's going to be interesting to see what they say. Wrap up an open-ended discussion. Anything else you want to cover that we haven't talked about, or anything brought up before that could use more elaboration? If nothing in particular is highlighted, I'll go back over some of the prior subjects and ask more questions about it. Thank the Steelwood developers by name and provide links to the latest on FNAF Security Breach. Okay, so it's an open-ended discussion. Anything else that might be talked about or revealed or anything like that. Going to talk about anything new on this subject, but you never know. Steelwood might be open to it. We'll have to wait and see. And the final one is an open Q&A, which is 15 to 20 minutes long. So this is when people in the audience can ask Steelwood questions. So business people and, you know, game developers and the audience can ask Steelwood any questions, okay, that are appropriate. So somebody could ask, you know, when do you think the game's going to be released? You know, any questions that haven't been asked yet. And Steelwood can answer that, okay? So if somebody says, when do you think the game's going to be released? Steelwood can say, it's going to be released next week or June, or they can say, we're not going to answer that. Okay? So, it all depends on how open Steel will want to be on this conference call, okay? They could answer some interesting questions, or they could keep secretive. I'll have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, guys, even if nothing is revealed, they might show some new gameplay screenshots and stuff like that, which would be really cool. People have thought that they're just going to reveal, they're just going to show the images that were, you know, revealed on the charity stream last month, which are perfect to show anyway because the graphics look amazing. So they might just show those. They could show some new screenshots, or they could show a new trailer or some footage, anything like that. But if nothing new is shown, it doesn't matter, because I'm interested to see what Steel will have to say anyway. What were the challenges that they faced making Security Breach? What challenges did they face? What were they worried about? What were they excited about? You know, what ideas they had with Security Breach. I'm really, really excited to see what they have to say. I care about Steelwool a lot, and I am interested in the company of Steelwool, not just Security Breach, okay? I want to know what challenges they faced making the game. I'm curious to know what went through their brains making this beautiful game. The bonus would be a release date or anything like that, but again, I feel like they would reveal that to the fans rather than business people in a conference call. But you never know. We'll have to wait and see. That's all I've got to talk about today, guys. So Thursday, you might see a video from me again where I talk about the conference call. It looks like it's going to be about roughly 30-40 minutes long. I definitely do want to interview them on the channel in the future after Security Breach. I'd love to get Steelwool on the channel to ask them some questions about the development of Security Breach. So, yeah, hopefully that can happen. But that's it, guys. A little news video. And we'll have to wait and see what happens later this week. And, yeah, a release date or anything like that. Anything new. I do think we're going to get something new this month. Release date on scottgames.com. Something like that to get us hyped for Security Breach. I am still hoping for a May-June release date with Security Breach. But it doesn't matter anyway, because this year's, it's already April. It was Christmas 4 months ago, and it feels like yesterday. So this year is already going way too quick. So, you know, it will come round soon enough, guys, okay? So just be patient. It will be revealed soon. Lots of love. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate the support, and I'll see you all next time.